Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Hollywood Matt Connolly with the double biceps. It is a legally required obligation, has to happen every single time we appear on camera. Welcome to the Daily Combat Podcast. We have the co-host, co-founder, co-breather of air, co-wearer of clothes in this very room. It is the Count of Monte Cristo, the King of Sting, Thunderlips, the Ultimate Male. It is the winner of the Dave Stockbridge of the Year Award. It is, in fact, Dave Stockbridge. Stockbridge, welcome to your own show.
Thank you very much, Hollywood Matt Connolly, and a very warm introduction as always. And I'd like to also extend that very warm welcome to our guests today. So we've got Matt and Kat from RollClean. So that's the beautiful brand here. So our nicest smelling and best groomed guests today. So which is absolutely wonderful. And so we're really looking forward to chatting to these guys and how all of this came about. And Hollywood Matt Connolly, a lot of news in the combat sports world. Big announcement this week, AWE big card as part of the DFC event at Apex Sport Fest 3. So big news, and if people want to delve into that a little bit more, they can jump onto the AWE podcast and hear more with Ryan Blue Bowen and yourself chatting away about that wonderful event that's coming up very, very soon.
Absolutely. 25th of February at the Norwood Oval. Tickets available, diamondbackfc.com. There'll be 20 different combat sports all taking place on the same day. Arm wrestling will be one of those, and you have a wonderful guests today. Very involved with it's an Element Gym, and you've got the MMA world that have. You've brought about this brand based off of your experiences in that realm.
Kat was actually saying just off air that you were judging at the last Apex Sport Fest 3 in the BJJ tent. Yeah,
so I quite often do a lot of the sort of helping out in different venues and sort of events that we might have. So yeah, quite often I'm doing the scoring. I'm on the scoring table, so that's usually me.
Oh, wow.
Pressing the buttons, watching the refs, and trying not to fall asleep.
It can be a long day.
Depends on the match.
And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, part of the event coming up again this year. And I think there's wrestling, there's the medieval knights.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
the MMA,
yeah,
we're
absolutely. Ending the night with a full card for Diamondback Fighting Championship. Which is a DFC 17.
I think so. 16, 17, we're getting there. Yeah. And two belts on the line, from what I understand as well, and some massive matchups. So a lot of young talent feeding way through, and I'm guessing the same in the BJJ tent. You know, you've got a whole bunch of people coming from all across the country to be a part of the Apex Sport Fest, and so it's wonderful for anybody who's got an interest. Well, it doesn't even have to be in just BJJ or arm wrestling, or just if you're interested in life, head along to the Apex Sport Fest 3. If you like breathing, it's the event for you.
So it's like a Comic-Con for martial arts.
Absolutely.
I reckon that's pretty much it, isn't it? That kind of sums it all up.
There's so many things to see, and the ability to buy one ticket and you go in and there is sports happening all day, and you're just like,
it's like Pizza Hut, all you can eat.
That's right.
For combat sports.
Absolutely. It's like, this is arm wrestling, or this is strongman, or this is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or this is wrestling, or this is whatever. It was Muay Thai, and they've got all sorts of things happening, and it
sounds like a good day.
It's super exciting. The last one was like adrenaline pumping the whole day long. Like there was so much action going on. It was really cool.
Did you with the medieval knights?
Oh, it was so freaking hilarious.
I think I've told this story a couple of times. I thought it was going to be something silly.
I
thought it was cosplay, like guys pretending
they're full on jousting and everything.
We were set up. We were set up next to them, right? And it was like we had a thing we couldn't quite see right next door, and then we just heard this like crash of metal and screaming. What's going on? Look over and there's my first image of seeing this. There was a guy in a full suit of armor laying on the ground, another guy with an axe, a literal axe, smashing this dude in the head as hard as he could.
Oh my goodness.
Like a metal axe.
Full on.
I was like, I'm witnessing a murder over here. This is insane.
Sounds like therapy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Just rock up and just beat each other up with axes and stuff.
The most violent thing I've ever seen. Amazing. So they will be there at the event as well. So you better hope your armor holds up in that.
Who do you blame when it doesn't?
Wow,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Go back to that old old Smithy.
You don't blame arm wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's head over to the arm wrestling tent. Less chances of death.
Slightly less.
So how did you guys get involved in martial arts or BJJ? Did it start with Karate Kid? I guess that's my question.
I'm not really a BJJ kid.
Well, no, but the Karate Kid stuff,
I did karate. I did Shotokan for about 3.5 years. Thinking about continuing that journey recently, but
and gotten into a bit of MMA as well through my gym. And But
just a bit hard doing manual labour with a massive corky.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's good fun, but I think I gotta make money as well. But no, it's fun.
No, for sure. Yeah. It just reminds me of I played football for 1 year and then a corked thigh put me out. I couldn't work for 2 weeks.
You can't explain that to the bosses.
Right.
It gets to a stage. You got responsibilities.
Walk. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working low and you got to squat down. It's just pain.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
like, this isn't going away.
So how did the association with RollClean get going? So my understanding was BJJ was involved. That was kind of like that was the crux.
That's the crux.
You're the BJJ.
So I'm like 8.5 years into it now.
Right.
So I started 2014, and basically it was through my kids actually. My kids actually started doing jiu-jitsu, and I used to watch a lot of UFC, so obviously I was one of those people back then.
Yep.
And then thought, maybe I could give it a go, but at that point there weren't a lot of women, especially in SA, that were doing it. So we found a place that wasn't too far away, who was actually like a John Will, so Machado type jiu-jitsu. And then my kids actually got into it first, and then they did like a bit of a fitness thing, and the coach was like, come on, get on the mat, do some fitness. So I did that for about 2 years, and it was all martial arts inspired, so a lot of Turkish get-ups and stuff like that too. So a lot of kettlebell exercising and stuff. Which
place was this?
My
coach has actually passed away now. But it was Terra Firma back in the day, and Darren Cartwright. So he's old school, street fighting sort of techniques, as well as John Machado type, John Will. Yeah. So and then from there. So then he's like, just get in there. And in the end, I was just sitting back and watching all the guys wrestling and, doing jiu-jitsu afterwards and sitting there for an hour and a half and just thinking, I just got to do it. And so just get on the mat.
Just get in.
So that's how I started. So, and then from there it was always the boys. So big boys was all I was really fighting with.
And then comps early on. Did quite well in a couple of comps early on.
So
Arnold Classic, I think you were in Arnold
so that was my first fight, was going to the Arnold Classic. So it was the first one they ever had. So
it's got a little Arnold Classic story to share there.
So that's
same
pretty
person.
exciting. Oh, really? This could be good.
It's the first time we've been sitting in the same room at the same time.
So I don't know if mine was probably as comparable to yours. I had to end up, my competitor didn't end up showing, so I was meant to be in the same weight class. I ended up fighting a New Zealander MMA fighter that was quite experienced. That was my first fight.
Wow.
I'd only been training for 6 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I got armbarred in, I think it was probably 22 seconds or something crazy. Right. But I came out with a big silver medal, so that's all good.
That's
Arnold Schwarzenegger on it, so I'm pretty
cool.
happy with that.
Amazing.
So that was the start of it all. And then from there, it was basically staph. So I was one of the victims that got caught up with staph. So just by something simple, and then took a long time to get over it, so I almost lost my finger.
Wow.
It was
and
pretty
this was
freaking scary.
through training, you suspect,
So something not even it was something so simple, like I was holding onto a guy's belt, and he just pulled away, and it actually just sort of opened up the side of my nail.
Yep.
So I chucked some betadine on it, wrapped it up in finger tape, and thought, yep, it's going to be okay. Kept training. That night I woke up, and my finger was throbbing so bad, and it was bright red, swollen. It looked horrible. And then within
Did
3
you know
days,
what it was as you're starting to see this unfold?
It was the first time I've ever had it. So I've had one other bout. That one's a really interesting story too. But that was an eye gouge. So that one looked great.
Which still comes back to repeat from time to time.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I've had a couple of bouts, but mostly from eye pokes is the most common thing for me.
So I don't know much about staph. So it's a type of a bacterial infection.
It is,
that right?
so it's MRSA is the typical, the actual medical name for it.
That sounds way worse.
Yeah.
I liked it when it was just staph.
But pretty
It's
much,
not just in hospitals, it's everywhere.
No, I used to work in a hospital for 10 years, so it was around everywhere. But basically it's in everyone's noses. So you know, the chances.
Not mine.
I know.
Not really? Everybody's?
Pull out a swab and we'll check. No. So yeah, but basically everyone's susceptible.
Yeah, so there's not
I don't want to breathe now.
yeah, you're a staff carrier. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. I think it's just there.
Yeah.
It just incubate. I don't know. You know more about than I do.
Yeah, so basically it's really easy to get. Okay, but the main thing is the thing for it is not being that healthy. So if you're not eating and looking after yourself, obviously the sports you choose. So, you know,
Don't do BJJ. It sounds
no,
like.
do jiu-jitsu.
I'll definitely still do it. Okay.
You just need the right products.
And you also just need to cover up. You get scratched and stuff. So we've got some really good tips.
So it is just an infection and then it manifests. But it seems to blow up pretty quick.
Super quick. So that's the thing for it. So the quicker that you even have some sort of weird, funky looking thing, usually on the skin it starts like a small pimple. Like it looks like a little balloon pimple. Yeah. Which has basically got like a bit of fluid in it, and then a sort of a bit of a circle. But in my finger's case, it literally just looked like redness. It didn't look like anything funky at all. It was probably just like a bit of a bacterial infection. Yeah. People get them all the time and they fix themselves anyway because that's what basically pimples are. And then it basically just, it was like 3 days was pretty much when most of my finger was already like gone. So go to a doctor straight away as soon as you get any looking things.
This is kind of well known in the BJJ world or in the wrestling world as well.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So it doesn't sound like gyms are necessarily a quit. So if you do get a nick or something, it's not like there's a station that you can go to and quickly address that and make sure that you're okay.
And they think, like you say, if you're a tradie and you got a nick, you can just put some duct tape on it and keep going or whatever.
Yeah.
Duct tape works.
But if you it does work. It works really good.
If it's really bad.
Duct tape
if you get a nick and wrap it up and then go and roll in someone else's like other sweat and all that other
juicy
stuff, it's just.
But you can have a nick and something like that anyway, and it would be completely fine. It just depends on, you know, how your body's fighting stuff at the time. It can also be that if have you had it before? There's lots of different variables. But the more thing is that if you just get anything weird, you've tried to treat it, whatever yourself, go straight to a doctor because it's not worth the risk. The quicker you catch it, the better it is. But it took me. It took me 3 months.
You can read them out if you like.
So
you've got a lovely printout here.
Kat made these up for gyms that she stocks, RollClean stocks.
Yeah.
Just gives you a bit of a rundown on the best way.
You can read them out.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands before and after. Wear shoes going on the bathroom. Like don't go in straight from the mat.
Yeah, that happens. That happens
back on the mat again.
Oh, right, okay.
It's just something that people don't think about.
One of our gyms actually brought that up to me. So it was one of the ones I was missing. I was like, damn it, that's like the most common thing.
Like no shoes on the mat.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a given.
Yeah, we carry a bacteria in our shoes.
Wear your clean gear. Like, it's not like football where I forgot to do me. Don't put the socks on from training Saturday. Should be right.
Yeah.
Not like that. Don't reuse your gear. Plus, you'll be the stinky person.
Yeah, we call him Stinky Pete.
Yeah, Stinky Pete.
No one wants to train with Stinky Pete. Don't be Stinky Pete in the corner.
Stinky Pete.
It's just Norm, but with a gi and by himself.
Yeah. Well, typically, it's a white gi that looks brown.
Yeah, that's it.
That's usually how it works.
If you're named Pete out there and you train, sorry.
It's not.
It doesn't mean it's you.
But it does.
All representations are based on
Obviously, Sharon, wash your hands, wash your belt and hand wraps.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Coming from karate, we don't wash a belt.
The magic of
the magic stays in the belt.
It's a juju, bad juju to wash your belt.
You forget your carter if it is
clean. Pants fall down.
Yeah, true.
You wash out all your hard work. That's their mentality. But jitsu. Different because
our hands have got the most bacteria on it. It's probably the biggest spreader is our hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Spray salt soak MMA boxing gloves. So there's like you explain that one.
Yeah. So there's different methods of like soaking your gloves because a lot of the guys don't want to actually soak their gloves too much. Obviously, because it damages them and they're really expensive. Any sort of MMA equipment costs a lot of money. So, but some of the tips, and one of the new ones that I actually found out, which a lot of the guys do, is they stick their gloves in a freezer. So they leave their in the freezer overnight. Actually kills the bacteria.
Okay.
So that's a really cool tip, guys. So that's a new one. So you can spray them with like alcohol spray on the inside, but again, over time it sort of deteriorates your stuff.
Yeah.
But this guy was like, just chuck them in the freezer, and like that is actually would kill the bacteria. So
Also a great late night snack as well.
is.
Yeah.
You want a bit of
Right next to the frozen peas that you use on your corky after.
It doubles up. That's pretty cool.
You could be like the 10-pin bowling guy spraying all the shoes. Same thing, same principle.
Yeah.
You got sharing gloves at kickboxing gyms and stuff like that. You're putting your hand in straight after someone else, and you may have, that little thing on your finger that annoys you when you put your hand in that little tear skin type.
Mm-hmm.
That's to be it.
Hangnails.
Yeah. What do we got? Let's cover up wounds. Seek medical attention. Obviously, tell your coach. What was the one? Oh, this one I missed. Shaved after training, not before.
Oh, this is like
that's
really
a big
interesting.
One.
So
that's a big one.
As we're sort of as I'm going around, I do talks in gyms as well. So some of the times, like I'll offer, most of the times I'll offer the coaches, I'll come in and I'll do a talk. Just so it comes from a different person who understands infection a bit more. Obviously, I'm not a professional and I'm not a medical doctor or anything.
But you are an expert.
But I am, in my particular experience, what I've had, So what I've done with my thing, that's one of my special talents. As I research to no end, so I don't sleep pretty much. But basically, the main one was that a lot of guys actually shave and before they go to training. So, which is really interesting. So, if you rock up and you've obviously you've had a day at work or whatever else, and some of the guys are like, I just feel horrible, I just need to have a shower, go to the gym. Well, first you've taken off all of the natural barrier of your natural oils off your skin, but they shave as well. The shave actually puts micro cuts all on your skin, as you guys would probably know. Like, it's quite irritating. I'm not sure about you. You got vacious allergies.
You shave your head though.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's all you shave.
That's for another show.
Hey, you can get staff there too, I'm guessing.
But basically, you get micro cuts, you roll on the mat. It's the same thing again. So you're actually better off shaving after training. Or first thing in the morning, so you've got all day for your micro cuts.
You don't look as lean though.
No, you don't. So, I mean, it depends how big your growth is, but basically, that was one of the major things that we picked up on too, was that. So there's a few tips. So we're big on, the main thing is our ethics is, and the reason why I sort of started it was because I wanted to keep people training on the mats. That's one of my biggest initiatives, because I have had so much value out of training, be it, mental health, fitness, friendships, camaraderie, I can't even say it. And to miss out on it, it really sucks when it's something you're really passionate about.
Therapy
sport,
too.
Injuries,
Therapy too.
It stuffs things up. So, obviously having something that can support people just to keep on the mat and that's easily accessible, so we provide it into gyms as well and stuff.
So you do go from gym to, you will go to gyms and chat people through.
You did a little chat up north. What was his name again? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. We did a little seminar
Stinky Pete.
No.
Stinky
Pete. Farouk from
wasn't
Matrix.
Element, it was Matrix, that's right.
So Farouk from Matrix invited us out, and that was really interesting.
It was good.
Yeah, it was
good.
cool.
And they asked the questions. They were like, "Oh wow, really?" Just don't know. So a lot of the thing with Catstrong was just provide information about this kind of stuff that they don't know about. You got some awareness. 18, 19, 17s kids just coming in and educating, putting stuff up. I know it makes it look like a school gym or whatever because there's posters everywhere, but it's pretty important. Not saying it's a deterrent. But then a guy was having a fight at Matrix, or we had one coming up or something. He couldn't train because he had a ringworm or something happened, and then you got a ringworm, you can't roll.
Yeah, and sometimes once that stuff starts, it's really hard to keep it under control. And no matter how clean your gym is, it's pretty much like.
So this is something that can really spread very, very quickly and can affect the whole gym.
Yeah. So ringworm's less it's obviously not as dangerous, but it is it's athlete's foot basically. So it does stop. It spreads like wildfire, and you could be the cleanest gym, the cleanest person, and you can still be susceptible to it to a certain extent. It literally, and a part of it is that it's a team effort. So the students need to look after themselves. Yes, the gym needs to be clean, and the coach needs to be on top of it. But, it's actually down to the person who's rocking up training. Like, if you know you've got something, rocking up on a mat is not a good idea because you're going to.
And do you think because maybe the stigma associated with that people still kind of go, I don't want to tell everybody, I'm just going to go roll anyway.
I've got a fight coming up.
So
I'll just keep training.
We're probably not the most popular people at all times, but we're here to do a job. Like that's pretty much what we're here for. And it's not really, like, money-wise, we don't really make much from it.
Yeah.
It's staying afloat.
It's a passionate thing. Like that's what it's for.
A real passion project. And so did you find that there just wasn't the products on the market that were readily available that you liked, or how was it that you came to develop your own range of products?
I think
here?
The main thing that I had was that it was so bloody expensive. Like everything comes from overseas.
From overseas.
Yeah. So and I'm actually quite important. Like I like to support local anyway. And so but yeah, everything was coming overseas. There was nothing really in Australia that was doing this sort of thing to purpose. That was manufactured here. So this is, I do everything. Like this is from point of like, some of the graphic design. I've got lots of friends that help me out. So I've got Izzy as well as my
shout out to Izzy.
Thanks, Izzy.
Shout out.
She's my training partner and my girl, but she's a marketing person. So she created the logo. And she's, anytime's consulting. Same with Matt, and then all of our cellophane bags are actually made in St. Mary's.
Oh, really?
So, they're biodegradable cellophane. So we get that local. Our products, like our olive oil comes from Wallunga.
George.
Yeah, George.
Shout out to George.
Shout out to George.
Legend.
I like olive oil that comes from a man called George. That's
it's
authentic.
going to be good.
Greek George. Greek olive oil.
And same with like and our shea butter and cocoa butter comes from a company called Deluxe Shea. Shout out to Corbina. But basically, they're a certified organic fair trade in Ghana. So they're actually supporting women, paying them properly to, produce the shea butter. Wow. So, but he's in Aberfoyle Park. So he's actually local.
Yeah.
So
incredible.
Everything I try to get is like sustainably in Australia as much as possible.
It's really now no surprise that they do look edible because as you're describing the content,
they are edible. You just
you can't put that on the label.
Do not eat. Yeah, we should put that. Do not eat.
Yeah, we do need to put
do look like delicious cakes.
Yeah. When you're
Speaking
making
of it looks
like cake batter when you're actually pouring them too.
Speaking of the labels, the whole process, I reckon the labeling was the most. The most important time was getting
the label. Is
just
that
trying
from a
to get
brand or is that
a brand, and also so they come from Allbiz in Lonsdale. So, but I. Izzy's logo and then the graphics were all done by me. So I literally, but every time I looked at it, it just wasn't perfect enough.
Yeah.
That's my ASD.
It wasn't round
making
or
it cost effective as well, trying to get it.
And print them in Australia. Would have had to go to China, and I just didn't want to do that.
Look, there's easier ways to do things, but because we're keeping it all local, it's like
everything
fantastic.
Supports everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
So when you started looking around and finding the alternative, the only alternatives that were really out there, they were imported.
Yeah.
You didn't really know where the ingredients were coming from, whether they're from an ethical source.
Yes.
So carbon footprint on that would have been far greater because all the ingredients are being
palm
imported.
oil, the big P word.
The palm oil.
We don't do any palm oil in our stuff, so.
And they sneak that in there, don't they?
They do. It's
even
called
at the
quite a few different names. So I've noticed, a lot of the ingredients tend to be like not really clarified. So it makes it a bit tricky. But
so it's a bit ambiguous in the labelling as to what you're actually getting when you're getting some of these imported brands.
My skin's actually quite, being Greek, I'm pretty lucky, but I still am.
Hey, do you know George?
Oh, I do know George. Actually,
I've been doing work for George.
Provides olive oil.
I'll be there next week, George. I promise. I'm going to go back there.
Finish your job. Bloody hell. He'll be
like, where's Matt?
But it's basically my skin's really sensitive, so I was struggled too. So I had lots of issues with rashes and bits and pieces. And
so you could feel it in the products as you're using it as to whether or not that was, I guess, interrupting your pH or
absolutely.
whatever.
And stripping your skin too. So it was important to make a bar that was high cleanse, but also doesn't take away the nourishment out of your skin.
Yeah.
And my son's also got eczema, so I struggled. He's a teenager now, but we've struggled for years with eczema. So the chocolate bar is
now as a teenager, you're struggling with other things.
Oh,
but
yeah. Actually, no, he's not too bad. It's the younger one. I think.
Only when the Wi-Fi goes
There's
off.
always one. You're experimenting with these other products. You're finding that some are reacting.
Yeah.
You're kind of starting to really delve into it and go down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
Had you had any previous pharmacological experience or interest in that area?
A little bit. So I did. So my at school, so biology and chemistry were my two favourite subjects. So I did quite well at them.
Yeah.
And
I call it a Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So we're just going to get an RV out the back and we're set.
Yeah,
Just
pretty
picturing
much.
your
We
house
almost-
thing.
Soap in the RV.
We almost did that.
travelling
Remember
RV,
that?
yeah.
We almost did that.
Could
We
offset
almost
this
got, like, a
operation.
thing. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes get a bit worried if the neighbours look over the fence and see me carrying around big drums.
No, I'm carrying like citric acid. What's the acid
no.
we use?
Yeah, like
What's
citric
it?
acid.
Citric acid on my shoulder?
Yeah.
Walking into the...
That's for the bath bombs.
Nothing sus.
Yeah,
For the bath
no,
bombs.
not at
Yeah,
all.
it's for the bath
Nothing sus. And choppers going past every now and then, especially in the southern area, she knows. A bit like, oh my goodness, and they're like, looking at me.
It's like the second time today.
Pretty much. Yeah, when they start circling around your house.
Yeah, that one's not Shark Watch.
No. So it was basically just, and I did at uni, I went to uni as well, and I did science at uni.
Oh,
and chemistry
okay.
again was one of my big ones. So
you can see the chemical relationships between the ingredients, and you're going,
And working in the hospital too.
Gotta
for
be
10
precise.
Years, yeah, you do. Oh, it's so like.
Gotta be precise.
That's probably one of the biggest things. Like, it's like on the money. Like, you have to be on the money with everything, including the temperatures. The measurements need to be spot on, obviously, because it's a formulated product.
oh,
Actually,
so it's not made in your bathtub.
No.
Oh,
No.
right.
It's definitely not made in the bathtub. No, so we've got all the equipment, but basically it's a chemical process initially to get it going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to be on the money, and so
To
sometimes
the gram, like
To the grams.
milligram. Like,
yeah, and the formulation was actually like.
And
it's
how do you develop that formulation that's so specific? And is that something you had to come up with?
she's
Yeah,
creates her own formulas and writes down
they're
every
full-
little
they've
ingredient
been
by the
mastered.
gram and what for every flavour.
So every
it's all
oil
got
has
its own
got a certain
recipe.
property as well. So everything's like quite like I could go on forever about it because that's one of my favourite bits about it is the formulation. But basically, it's like every single oil has got a certain property that it provides to the soap in your skin, and then it's
So you
about
say a property in terms of the value that it adds to the meat?
So if you're looking at the property of the soap, we're looking at like the bubbliness, the hardness, the high cleanse value or the low cleanse, the conditioning, the creaminess. Like it's literally.
So you got to get the hardness of the soap,
texture?
the soapiness
The texture,
of the actual lather can change.
Yeah, and the quality. So also like soap scum. So that's one thing that we like try to eliminate totally. It's impossible to get rid of it totally, but it's way less soap scum than what you would get from a normal bar from the supermarket. So your bars from the supermarket, this is really the biggest thing that got me, I think, where I was like, nah, I'm just doing it, is because the soap that you buy in the supermarket, they take the glycerin out of it. So glycerin's an actual byproduct that is naturally in our soap. But these other companies actually remove the glycerin and sell it because it's worth so much more money and sell you the crap.
Oh, wow.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So it's like a diluted form that's left?
All the surfactants are left over and none of the actual like moisturising properties are left in the soap because they decide to sell it because it's worth so much more money.
Wow. What are they using glycerin for?
All sorts. It's a humectant, so it means that it draws moisture to the body, which is really good. So creams, like women use it in they're in a lot of creams and balms and all sorts, makeup even.
It's also a song from the 90s grunge era by Bush.
Hey, like Bush.
That's the first time I heard them.
Yeah, I met him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
What's in it, Gavin?
Gavin Rossdale.
Gavin
Yeah.
Rossdale.
Sorry to go on a tangent. How did you meet him?
Yeah. So I was I think 15, so that's probably showing my age a little bit. But we met so my girlfriend and I just went into that. He was here in Sanity. Was it Sanity?
Yeah.
Rundle Mall. Rundle Mall.
Oh, okay.
The big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Bloody thing. But so we lined up for ages. I think we were there for about 2 hours because we were going to go to the concert anyway.
Yep.
And he came and they were actually doing a live signing, so you could bring your merchandise and get things signed.
Okay.
So we did that, and we got things signed, and then I was like, could not say anything because I was like,
15
a bit
finger.
smitten. And then he wrote yes on my thing afterwards, and I was like, oh my god, as you do when you're 15 years old. So anyway, that's the Gavin Ross. But yeah, literally, I couldn't say anything. I was just like
Paralysed by.
It was a great concert though. Did you go to the concert?
I didn't know, but it just reminded me of my wife is a big fan of Silverchair, and particularly Daniel Johns when, at that age.
Too. Yeah.
And she went to, they had a sound check, and they were doing a concert here in Adelaide. She went to the sound check and somehow sweet talked the guard into letting her in to go watch this thing.
Seemed to be her skill, actually.
Yeah,
that's cool.
right. Yeah, so she was like 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so it's just her and two friends or something watching this sound check thing. And after they'd finished it, Daniel actually came down and sat with them and talked to them for like an hour.
That's pretty cool.
Afterwards,
That's better than my story.
well, but after she realised that she had the word Daniel written across her.
Was it backwards because you did it in the mirror?
Yeah, his name across her
But
forehead.
if she didn't have that, he probably wouldn't have stopped
True.
talking
That's
to
true.
her.
That's true.
Pretty
Maybe he
cool.
thought it was funny. I don't know. But,
Funny that he didn't make mention of it in the
No, he
hour's
didn't
conversation.
say anything. Did he just focus? He would just been focusing
he's
on that
like
the
just
whole
staring
time.
at her forehead.
Oh.
Just wouldn't make eye contact. Just kept looking at my forehead.
Hey, you spelled it wrong, dude.
An hour-long conversation. That's pretty good for you. So, that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. Oh, that's great. So glycerine.
wish I had a celebrity story now, but I don't.
Yes, that's a great song. Glycerine's a
Yeah,
great song.
absolutely.
But yeah, so
Great song, and it's not enough in soap.
Yeah,
that's what I've learned.
Not unless it's
That's why
a
you get dry
handmade
skin.
soap.
I've been thinking of
handmade
that,
soap.
this product, every single time I hear that song.
Actually, that could be a theme
You'd be in
song
the
for
shower,
us too.
sing it.
There we go.
Glycerine, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
If he's written yes on your thing, that was the approval to use his song.
I presume so. He's just giving away his rights.
That's
so
right,
yeah,
Licensing
exactly.
agreement.
It was a
That
blank
could be
piece
our,
of
that
paper.
could be our new slogan. Don't let the days go by.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Vice President Marketing
Yeah,
and
he always comes
Logistics.
up with like
Vice President?
Yeah.
That's just a little gag I'll say.
Yeah.
Vice President of Marketing and
Logistics.
Logistics.
Yeah. When I don't know
Come
how
up
the
with
hell
it.
to get things functioning, he's
Yeah.
like, "What?" I go, "How do I do this?" He goes, "Right, do that. Okay, cool, thanks."
Okay,
Yeah,
Just the tradie background, doing
Yeah.
jobs, organising jobs.
It
Like,
helps
okay,
a
that
lot.
will work better that way.
Yeah, I get delvage too much into the formulation side of things and the getting it perfect.
No,
Which we need a team effort. We
Yeah,
need-
I need a shelf put up in the soap room. Okay, love, be there in a minute.
The soap room. I like the fact you have
Yeah,
a soap
we
room.
do.
That's it, built a
We
full
do.
soap room out the backyard.
Yeah,
Oh,
from like
fantastic.
in our back lawn was literally just back
It's a
lawn.
soap lab.
It is.
I'd like to
Mate,
think.
we had the Great Wall of soap in our hallway.
Yeah.
Like it was legit.
Oh, the
Six
house.
foot high.
Wow.
Yeah.
That foot wide, just soap, and it was like right. The dining room had like all the packaging and all
Yeah.
that down there. We're like, right, we got to build
When
something.
we got to
right.
about 1,000, I think it was about 1,000 bars of soap. But like, this is enough. We don't have any room. Like, we have to move this somewhere else. So.
Are you in continual production? Is that how it works
Doesn't
now?
stop.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is with it, so like you make it, but then it takes 4 to 6 weeks to cure.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So
Otherwise, it's still a little bit. Is
no,
it- If you use it too
water. So
early?
there's water in it, so distilled water. But the distilled water needs to then evaporate, or basically, like leach out of the soap. So it makes it harder again.
Right.
It always comes out hard when you first do it. Oh, that's my favourite one. It's the
Is
king.
it?
It's
Which
the
one is
king. The king.
There we go.
It's the king. So
Lavender?
it's like lavender. Yeah.
What was it?
Peppermint.
Lavender, peppermint, and.
Yeah.
Lavender orangey.
Every time I went to read it, you turned it away.
But it's really good. So it's actually one of our best sellers.
But-
We went for the king because it's like
Here you
royal colours.
All the
It's
all the
royalty.
different soaps on there.
So now you can see why I think
Yeah.
it looks edible.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
just going to get this.
How many have you
Yeah,
eaten?
that one
It's
too.
got poppies.
Yeah. Right. Oh my god!
Oh no.
It's so. It's
a little bit
like
soapy.
you're being naughty.
You got poppy seeds in that
wash
one?
your mouth out with soap.
Yeah, if you're going to threaten a teenager, this is
Yeah,
the soap
that's
to
the
use.
soap to use.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, yeah.
little bit pepperminty.
Yes,
So,
Tickles the tongue.
If you get your toothpaste, you're set.
But there's so many varieties. They do different things.
So the different so it's not there's therapeutic value to the different varieties. It's not just flavour we're going for.
No,
it's so
so
it's not just a bag of lifesavers. It's different colours.
So is it one of those things where, depending on maybe your skin sensitivities or maybe some of your skin's conditions,
they're more
getting
appropriate.
In all of your biceps?
Oh, no.
That's all right.
Getting your biceps.
Just need to make sure. Then you would go. So if the charcoal with peppermint.
Yeah.
So each of these have a little function.
They do.
Right.
So
and you've got notes.
I do.
She's
I've got
notes.
Whoa.
So because the main ones,
I'm going to have a little lolly just to get
have a lolly, so you don't eat the soap. So
still soapy.
We can make little gummy soaps for you if you're a little tiny. You might lose one.
Yeah, I might lose one. I should make a gummy bear soap.
That would be cool.
Wow,
See, write it down.
So
we're coming up with
we've got
spitballing right now.
ideas for Pooh Bear. So obviously Damien Voller.
Oh yeah.
So Damien Voller is one of our sponsor athletes. He's like the bomb. So that's why Element and obviously we've got Matt as well. So Fevs and James. So
awesome.
Dirty Clean Eats. With Jamu.
Shout out
pretty
Dirty
much
Clean
they
Eats.
helped us very early on with packaging ideas and just marketing ideas. And I had a meeting with those boys like early on, and I didn't even really. I don't think Fev and I knew each other that much back then. It was a bit of a weird. I think at that time I was still trying to collate a lot of information, and I knew that like James was sort of like down our way, so he's like down south, and then but their packaging was always really on the mark, and I was like, would you guys be keen just to meet up and have like a bit of a product sort of talk and a bit of a powwow? They're like, yep, no worries. And I'm like, and ever since then, like we've just, they're just amazing.
They've been awesome.
Yeah, and Damien's...
Because they've got a similar ethic to their product, don't they? Like good organic ingredients. It's not a lot of sugar in it or anything like that.
Lots of glycerine.
I don't know. It's turmeric. I love jammy.
Those little shots they had up were pretty good.
Yeah, the honey.
Those little hot shots.
Honey and lemon. It's the best. So just different ideas and stuff. And so those guys have always supported us and helped us. And, Fev actually brought up that, Damien sort of up and coming in the MMA market and and training really hard and same value as us. Like he's like full on. He's the epitome of RollClean. Like he's got a psoriasis, like a type skin issue that we can't ever fix. And it's a really hard thing to deal with. But he, manages it really well. You get flare-ups and stuff like that too. Stress can bring it on and all sorts, but we just try to support him the best we can. But he's like ethics, his hard-working values. He's such a nice guy.
Shout out, Damo.
Yeah, so the whole team at Element pretty much have that same philosophy. Like they're all just very easygoing dudes.
Damo's probably the reason why we sell...
It is.
2 boxes a month.
The boys just they pump it, but their students are actually pretty damn healthy, and they love the product. We go down there and say hello as well. I've trained down there as well just to go and say hello. So
show them how to do it.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Who's this chick next minute?
Okay, I'll buy the soap. Okay.
Yes.
Whatever you say.
20 boxes.
It's like a hummingbird. Where's she going?
I think they call me the cricket.
The cricket, something like
that.
So Damo's getting a soap. Honey type of soap.
Pooh Bear.
So you guys, you are working on the Pooh Bear.
Yeah, so
we're going to do
edition
for his last fight, winning the title.
XFC, light heavyweight champion edition
of the world.
Pooh Bear.
We're just going to come up with a name for it.
Yeah,
you'll have to come up with another one when he's DFC champion.
I know.
Yeah,
so you're going to have these little belts wrapped around the soap. That would be pretty cool.
There's going to be
another idea.
We could put a beard on it. Put a beard on the soap. No.
Yeah, down the bottom here maybe.
I think a big nice gold stamp would be pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We could call it the pummel.
So I did notice
or
that
the destroyer.
You guys did. You started sponsoring Damo, and then he became the champion. So I'm wondering.
I think it was not the reason. The main reason.
That's the main reason.
Yeah, definitely a contributing factor. One would imagine. I mean, it wasn't winning titles before.
Oh, that's
right. We just got it at the right time. I think.
Yeah, I think we did.
He's put all the work in.
Damo's a wonderful friend of the podcast. He's been in recently. And
we wouldn't have known about you guys without him.
Exactly. So, he came on and he said, look, on one condition, I'm putting these products and going on the table.
And must eat this soap.
And we were in no position to argue because he had the strap.
Probably
and
not a good idea.
whatever you want.
Did you put theme music on when he walked in? You had a request?
Well, his belt was amazing. That's the first championship belt I've ever sort of seen in person, and wow, it was impressive.
Sheepskin on the inside.
It is. It's the deluxe version.
Oh yeah.
I haven't actually seen like that. Yeah, that good quality. Like you see some really nice belts, but this was like
just saw another idea.
It was not built for comfort.
No,
the sheepskin on the outside.
Number 7.
We just get the belt and put the soap in front of a little promo photo. Very cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Vice President of Marketing.
Champ month.
That's why he's Vice President. The wine never stops.
Doesn't. Just have to write stuff down because I'll just go.
At least you'll have it
the other end.
stuff.
Yeah.
You come up with the gold. You don't have to keep the gold.
No, you don't.
I'm not joking. I literally drive to work and I go on the way to work. I go, oh, and I ring Kat and go, hey, how about this? Write it down.
I forget
as well.
It's
all right. Okay.
Yeah, we're always so busy.
But you have to write them down as you think.
I'm not the writing down man.
Yeah.
At least you got this recorded, so you can go back.
No, you can like voice recordings and then you can just shoot it through.
You could.
Yeah. Hey Google, blah blah blah. Put this down.
Yeah, you're onto something. Or that new AI chatbot thing where you just say your ideas.
Really?
Yeah,
And then it takes over the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Car starts driving itself. What's going on? Yeah.
Where you might say something like Damien Vola, Pooh Bear flavour, blah blah blah, and it will come up with the image, and a couple of the guys are using it,
and it's taking you out of business.
And then some weird website pops up. What's going on?
Damien, I never knew.
Damien Vola lying in a bathtub with a duck over
Instagram photo would come up with him in the bath with a duck, with a rubber ducky.
Next time, there's another idea.
Yeah, just the belt.
Yeah,
strategic position.
A duck-shaped soap for Damo next time.
That could be cool.
With a belt around it.
But no, we're really happy for him, and he's baby coming and everything too.
So next segue, change subject. The next plan, obviously, we would love to go and visit the stockers who stock.
Yeah, well, I've got
like Perth, Queensland.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few. We've got 30.
Yeah.
So you've got distributors.
30.
Yeah, I was going to ask what your selling model was, but it was just Damo walking around.
No, that's pretty much all I need.
Soap, anybody?
No.
Soap, or I'll
We're going to
choke
put
you
like
out.
an A-frame sign and walk down around the mall.
Everyone knows him. He's famous now.
With his belt on.
That's right. Just the belt.
Yeah, touch my sheets.
Get a lot of attention.
Rub the belt. $5.
It brings you good luck.
Make some money.
So it's not like a multi-level marketing thing or anything like that. This is like
we're keeping it small at the moment because I like to. I'm a bit of a control freak to a certain extent. So I think, but we've got like stockers. So the
I'll leave that one.
Formula down to the milligram.
Yeah, very much. But yeah, like I like to make sure that the gyms get it first. Like obviously the people who buy directly from us, it's done like online.
Yeah.
We go to different events too. So I go to Grappling Industries. We've been at the M16 Open.
Try to go to as many as we can.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah.
So still got a busy life and everything, but we try to get there as much as we can. And we've got quite a few now interstate. So Queensland, we've got HTC and Tassie. Shout out to those boys. We've also got 2 ambassadors out there.
Tassie boys have been good.
Yeah, the Tassie guys have been great too. HTC is a really cool upcoming sort of gym, similar to Elements vibe. So, but we've got Deacon Laffer and we've got Rob Pascoe too. So they're 2 guys that are upcoming. So Rob's got a really good judo background. Approaching his sort of like mids. Is that about right, Rob? I'm not sure. Sorry if it's not. But he's like, he's a real gi fighter. So he's really exciting. I like gi. I also have done no gi, but gi is sort of like where my passion is in my jiu-jitsu life.
Yeah.
But yeah,
traditional BJJ.
Yeah, it's good barrier for like stuff and stuff. They're really good. And Deacon's just gone overseas, so he trained with the B team overseas, and he competed as well at Worlds. So he's a bit of an upcoming, and I actually picked him up from Apex. So Apex, when I was scoring, watching this guy fight.
Yeah, come on, go! Should have seen this kid fight.
Yeah,
whoa, he was
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how I met Deacon. So it was from there, and he's like next level. He's had a bit of unfortunate luck with his Worlds comp, didn't go to plan, but he wasn't too well himself. So But yeah, he's up and coming. Like he's revolutionary
Watch his space.
on the mat. Yeah.
So is that kind of how it works? You'll find an athlete, or you'll discover somebody, or you'll come across, or somebody will say, "Hey, we've got a guy or a girl," and you'll kind of go, "Well, that's pretty cool."
Yeah, if they've got
Let's
the
get
same
behind you.
values as well. So we always choose people that have got the same sort of ethos as us. So
active in the jiu-jitsu community.
Yeah, and just sort of like all around sort of nice people. We try to go for people that are like a bit more like approachable. Team. They're like team ambassadors as well. Like they're people that actually help out. Like quite often they're teachers.
Bit of a social media presence doesn't hurt either.
Yeah. But it's not
like
everything.
Actively, not everything.
Yeah, but it is.
Helps.
We look for that stuff too. Helps. But we don't force them to do anything. No. It's all organic. So we just
they do have to wash.
Oh, they do have to wash.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crucial.
Yeah,
we
they do wash,
send
they
the
have
soap,
to use.
they have to use it.
Right.
So
Little sneaky promo
point.
in their Insta story doesn't hurt in a blue moon.
See a little
Especially if there's
bit.
a duck involved or whatever.
And how does that work? So essentially, you have an athlete, you like the cut of their jib, and you say, look, we'll support you with some product.
Yep.
You go out to just say nice things about us whenever you can, and it's pretty loose.
Pretty much that's it, and we've got bigger things. So like with Damo, we want to get to a point where I can actually we can financially support him a bit because he's just put so much into the sport. Not that he wants it, but he does so much for the community. Like it's not just it's everything. So those sorts of athletes that
What's his full-time job now?
It is, So we want to try and help them. We've sent, Deacon was going over to America, so we sent a ton of product out to HTC for them to raffle off. We're heavily involved as well, the Australian Girls in Gi, so that's a bit of a plug I wanted to put in there.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Australian Girls in Gi.
Jess Fraser.
That's
So
what is that organisation?
Girls in Gis.
Haven't heard of it before.
Girls.
Don't say the wrong thing at that camp.
Let's just say
mate.
We won't remember what happened.
Yeah.
How many female black belts was there last time you went?
There was 14 of
14.
us.
Oh.
Like it was crazy. It was
Is
like
it a gathering or something?
yeah.
Or?
So it's a gathering.
It's like a Kumatai. They get there and they fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
It happens once every 5 years.
Well, it's not knitting, that's for sure.
It's not
It's,
knitting.
no.
So we generally basically. So Jess Fraser is the main organizer of it. So she's a long-term female jiu-jitsu ambassador, and she's always stood up for us and always like if there's any fights because we struggle with comps all the time. Like sometimes the things may not be fair or like there's not enough women able to compete. So she tends to like promote a lot of things. They run their own comps as well, but generally the idea is it's an online group. There's like I think last time I checked it was about 4,700.
Wow.
Just in Australia, women
lot,
training.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
It's amazing.
There's a lot of us, and we all like. It's just a support group, basically. So if things are like, they talk about their achievements, their promotions. They'll talk about their comps, any difficulties that we might have. Like it's in a safe space, which is important to keep girls on the mat. Like and I run the Adelaide group as well.
Okay.
So I started that 6 years ago.
Yeah, own Facebook group started up. I think it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so we,
Yeah.
because I was only female training, I was like, does anybody else train?
Yeah.
Our gym was a bit closed in. They didn't really allow, intercomp sort of training and stuff. So, it was a bit sort of like unfamiliar and like you do need that momentum.
Telling
So the
what's
girls-
good culture and what's not good culture in the gym
Yeah.
for girls
Yeah.
or women.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's like,
You know,
you
what's-
need
Some education that's
yeah,
needed there.
and just support
Yeah.
really. So
Yeah.
it's hard. Like if you're, and it was actually a really interesting podcast with Bulletproof for BJJ.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a couple of guys. They talk about fitness and they've got a really good program as well for like maturing athletes like myself to look after their bodies. And they also talk about the fact that if you're a woman walking into a gym that's predominantly men, like
For the first time.
it's pretty full on, and like they even recognise it. So and now it's almost like if you're that next level, you're getting a bit older and whatever else. There's a lot of that functional conditioning that needs to come into it. Strength conditioning is really important. But yeah, they were basically just talking about how how real it is to walk into a gym when you're like a female. It's pretty hardcore. So those support groups basically are there. So if you feel like you're getting discouraged or you get those, we call the blue belt blues, you get your blue and you tend to not rock up afterwards because you're like, holy crap, like it's the next level of training.
Right.
They're there to go, hey, that's happened to me. Like, you'll be right, get on the mat, get
been there
training,
before.
focus differently. It's all about those sort of tangible type, tips really. And then we have a camp as well. Usually every year there's either camps or like gatherings, which a heap of girls get together and pretty much try to murder each other on the mat in a friendly way, don't we?
Friendly kind of murdering.
Friendly kind of, yeah.
Friendly murder.
Yeah, friendly murder. Everyone looks upon
So-and-so's in
and
a bad
smiles.
mood today.
Bit
She's struggling with people left, right, and centre.
Yeah, pretty, but there's a lot of like we get lots of people. Some girls have even come over from Texas.
Wow.
We've got a person who's
pretty cool.
Yeah, so another one's come over from Canada.
Which just
Trish,
visited. Yeah, you're
she
still
just
friends
came.
with people all over the world.
So we've met, I've met and connected with people over the world, basically.
This is an event that happens, or this is a group that?
So it's a group, and there's also events that happen.
Okay.
So you've got like either a camp. So quite often Jess runs this camp. It's crazy, man. Like you stay for like 3 days.
You're not
I
allowed
don't know
to
how
leave.
she. Well,
It's like a full training camp,
We were
pretty
on an
much.
island.
Yeah.
We were on an island.
You're on and on.
It was
And there's only one way off.
Sounds like a movie show. What's that? Theme show.
Yeah, no.
It's not a getaway. It's a reality TV show.
Yeah.
where only
Definitely
one-
not couples retreat.
one
You
woman's
gotta get-
So we do like so there's training, the seminars. We do open mats. We'll do yoga and chats, question and answers. We had also Jessie Jess came over from. She's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
She's amazing. So she came over too and did a talk about mental health and stuff like that.
Okay.
That was really cool. And then they also do comps, and we also have I just went over to Melbourne for one of their comps, and there was so many girl competitors, like it was crazy.
Amazing.
All
Yeah.
ages.
Yeah, right.
Yep, and they
Right,
just
yeah.
sponsored as well 2 girls. They sponsored there was a ticket you could win to go overseas for ADCC trials.
Oh, right.
So they funded that. So
Yeah, right.
$4,000 worth of prizes
Jeez.
for 2 of them. So
Yeah.
it's just a small organisation.
What would you say for any female that's looking to get into jiu-jitsu?
do it?
Yeah,
Just do it.
If I I had 2 young kids, both with challenges, and everything was up against you to not do it. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life. Like I was never really great at sport. I was always I was athletic. I was always active, but I was never found a sport that was great for me. So I did netball and I did basketball. Even I don't know how.
Point guard. Point guard.
I'm 5 foot,
Very
so
fast.
there's literally I don't even know how that works. But anyway, I did basketball, gymnastics. So that was a big one that lasted about 4 or 5 years. So tumbling. So obviously tumbling sort of stuff is good transferable skills to jiu-jitsu.
So the flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely. But absolutely get into it. It's scary when you first walk into the gym, but there are so many nice people. Go and train at a few different places, get the feel for the vibe, and you'll know which one's right for you. But it's the best thing ever. You get fit, learn skills.
I would say there's another good reason girls could get into self-defense that way as well.
hell yeah.
Jiu-jitsu and
Yeah.
just
The young- especially even the
not
youngers and
not
the
going to
old
happen,
ones.
but it's just great for young girls to learn.
Yeah,
And anyone would tell you that,
absolutely.
any of the
and
confidence.
legitimately
techniques that really do work.
Yeah.
Against
In the-
larger
on
you
opponents.
put the guy to
literally
sleep
on the
and just walk
street.
off. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's been times even the confidence value that comes into it, obviously being a teeny person, walking through a crowd, I always hated going to the show and walking around with those, giant people. But it gives you that confidence. So now I actually it doesn't faze me at all. I actually
Because you can take them out at any
pretty
moment.
much trip them up.
Doesn't matter how tall they are. Just climb their back like a monkey and just
Yeah.
She's just eyeing them
And
off.
it's walking, if
Looking
you're
who
in
to
a-
pick off next.
Put them on the
The
island.
crowd for an
See you on the island.
But it's great sport. But even if anyone, males, females, kids, it's a fantastic sport for kids. Again, confidence and stuff like that's amazing too. So
make it fun. Make it fun.
It's really interesting. I mean, you did say it was a passion project before, but it seems like to be a passion on many levels. It's not just the sport and then not just the whole idea of skincare and protecting yourself and keeping you on the mat. It's very much a real holistic thing where you're really supporting the community and some of those emerging stars within that world. Not just in BJJ but in MMA as well, and really making a positive difference to that entire community, which is, who would have thought, all out of soap.
I know,
eh?
it's so random
And it's a
thing.
pretty-
It was And a bit of
it's a small world when you get into it, really, isn't it? Like,
there's no soap mate. Like I've only met a handful of soap makers in Adelaide alone, but there's not a huge community of soap makers either. So it was quite tricky to.
They find each other pretty quick, though.
And obviously,
they're all buying what is the acid? Citric acid.
Well, there's a
Did you keep your glycerin in? Did you got your glycerin? You got it.
Even to go up to I've got to go up to a pretty E.E. Muir and Son is they produce chemicals for wineries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's where I
full
have to go for some of my
place.
stuff too.
Yeah. Bring it down a sack truck.
Yeah, it's a bit like you're rocking up and
you go grab your bag of wheat and
a couple of things on the side
and
there
some molasses for the horse out the backyard.
For my pet dragon at home.
Some sawdust with that. Yeah, thanks, mate.
And we've had some really fun doozies when we were trying to build up the mount. So now my slabs are huge. They weigh about 8-9 kilos. So that's a big slab of soap, and I've got about 5 of them I run at a time. So it's about 200 to 250 is the batch of soap per processing. But
which all started with the bar about that big in the kitchen of the old house as a test run, and we got a photo of it.
Yeah,
chopping it up, and it's it's a bit different now.
And
but
before that, my great grandmother in Greece is she was 104, was still making her own soap from
there you
olive
go.
oil.
Yeah.
So back in the day,
did you always have that in mind as you?
Yeah, I think I'm always a can-do person, so I'm there's not rare that I can go, I can't do that. There's always something. I think that's my mum.
It was spoken to about 2 years before it even got done.
Yeah, we've been researching.
So it was procrastinated and talked about for a fair bit before she went, you know what?
Collecting.
Let's just have a go.
Yeah,
let's
just do it. Yeah. But and then we've had massive pouring times where I've had these massive because we use giant buckets, and I'm like, shit, you got to come and give me a hand. And sometimes things will because the equipment is going to have to get modified with big pourers or whatever else. I'm pretty strong for a small person, but it's
this is why, obviously.
I got the muscles. So yeah.
It's that basketball career coming back.
Pretty much. I don't think I have a shot on getting hoops. It would be pretty funny.
It's more the height, getting up high enough to.
Yeah, but leverage.
I think we're nearly out of the little soap. We're going to have to go on the bigger one next.
I think so too. And in saying that, leverage stuff, I've got a cousin who actually does strongman type stuff.
Yeah.
And he's tiny. He's quite short and
he's a tiny strong man.
He's a tiny strong man, but he's bloody strong.
He loves people pointing out that he's tiny.
Yeah. The leverage lifting up those big boulders too, man.
It started out so great.
Crazy.
He's a strong man. He's a tiny strong
man.
He's not very tall. But he's amazing. He's also got a PhD in physics and stuff too. Is it physics? Yeah, so he's actually quite a smart guy and a DJ. And the tiny strong man that does all this.
He puts it on the wall, it looks that big.
Yeah. It's pretty much.
Well,
the strongest man in the world, body to weight, would be small.
Yeah. And then my uncle was my uncle Tony, he's gone to heaven too, but he was a Olympic weightlifter as well. 1952, he won a silver for the Olympics.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I better step up my game.
Commonwealth Games.
You got a lot to live up here.
I just dragged my 6.4 trailer around at home. We've got to reverse it. Now stuff it. I'll just pick it up and move it. Kind of stuff. It's quicker.
Those big slabs you were talking about, the 9 kilos. Have you ever considered just putting that as a wall in the shower and then just sort of
rub against it? Hey!
Yeah,
could do.
Correct, actually.
It's like a dispenser.
Or have them in a line and then just slide across them.
It would be like a slip and slide. That would be so much fun. You could do that.
And
you could set that up
into the shower.
You could make a house out of soap quite easily with those bricks because they're quite sturdy. So.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
You need one high and low, you need, get your feet done.
The VP marketing was straight onto it. He saw this.
I'm like
$10 right now.
I'm like, what can we do with that? No, that won't work.
It works until it rains.
Yeah. You can't. It's a shower, but you can't turn the water on.
No, don't. Yeah.
But hang on, you got me here.
Okay.
So we could.
God.
I've got something.
All right, okay.
So we could sculpture something and have the soap block sitting there on your sink. So when you wash your hands, just go.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hey.
You don't have to pick it up. You don't have to pick it up. You can just do that. Like a little DJ on the soap.
Whoa, I have seen those other ones.
But you'd have to have a little well around it. Otherwise it would just spill everywhere.
So there's quite some...
Like a little egg cup. circle around the moat around it and just sit it in there. That could work.
Well, you've got to make sure the soap doesn't get wet too
And
much.
it has to be made out of an organic material.
It does.
Yeah.
Sponsored by the
Bamboo.
lead singer of Bush.
Bamboo.
That's right.
Yeah. Can they
Gavin, Gavin.
I could just
Signature series.
do hemp ones,
Yeah.
bamboo.
Yeah.
Can they 3D print bamboo? No.
Yes.
No,
I'm sure they could. They can make bamboo T-shirts. They can do anything.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
How would
really,
that weigh?
really rigid.
Just don't go to the zoo because the pandas will chase you. They want to eat your shirt. Why is he chasing you? I've got bamboo shirt on.
It's the first time we've seen one of those things move.
God damn. Bloody hell, Steve. I told you not to wear it.
So in a perfect world, what does RollClean look like in 5 years' time? What's going on? Have you moved out of the?
Well, I won't be jip rocking, that's for sure.
No more jib rocking.
Hopefully.
VP of marketing will get the plaque made up now.
Yeah.
So marketing logistics.
Yeah, so USA.
It's a dual role, so you get paid twice.
And
Twice,
and
yeah, twice
rapper,
as much.
wrap
And rapper.
stuff
And
up.
chief rapper.
Yeah, chief rapper.
If there's a crooked one, it's my fault.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm pretty pedantic. So the labels have to be lined up nicely. But anyway, that's another story. So
Can people return theirs if it's not?
If it's
Yeah.
slightly out.
Labels.
we actually do.
You have to take the label off to use it, though. That's the thing, right?
money
You
back.
can't-
Yeah, 30-day money-back guarantee. So for any dissatisfied people, so that's what we just offer.
I didn't like the taste of mine.
Oh, you didn't pay for yours. So that's so we want to go to the US. Like that's like that's
international
our
market.
We want to go to the US. We've been approached by distributors as well. So like Fuji mats. So distributors contacted us and they want us to stock our soap. But we just need to make sure everything's like scalable.
Logistically
So
good.
and obviously the integrity of the product needs to be.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost is that. So once
Product's awesome.
Yeah.
And getting
Just
ingredients,
logistically-
like they're not, you
What
it
takes
you
to
can get
get
it all.
Yeah. So COVID was quite interesting. So the main crux of our like setting up the business, the tricky stuff was
You would have thought it'd be great for a soap business.
Yeah, well, it was for that stuff. But no, it was like we started on the 5th of March is technically when we started.
Oh, so
right
just as
when
things-
COVID started. So like we were like, COVID was like the 15th. So we were like 10 days, like it was pretty crazy.
You were the cause of it, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but
And I was like, I'll release COVID.
Right.
Right.
We've got the cure right here.
I went to like
We didn't get it for a long time. Yeah, we were fine.
We were fine. It was really interesting times. But yeah, so the getting the products, that's why one of the reasons why things, obviously supporting local and Australia and SA, suppliers was important, but also the cost of getting anything over, the delays. Luckily, probably I think that it was an organic growth too. Was pretty lucky because I don't think if we were going to go bang like this is what it's going to be.
Same with building. Never go too big too quick.
Nah.
good advice.
Organically growth it up and just because you can just get, oh my God, hang on, we can't fulfill that order.
We want to make sure
So
that we're
just
around for the long haul.
Take it,
Yeah.
smash out Australia, do our best we can here, and then
And then go overseas.
yeah.
So we can already ship overseas to certain countries. We just can't do USA and Canada, which are our biggest ones.
Wow.
So they're our main.
God forbid
hits.
they get a bit of soap in their eye and they go, oh, we're going to sue you.
All right.
So a lot of insurance companies won't actually
Really?
won't
You have to
cover
get FDA
them.
approval or something.
Yeah. So that's a long-winded and expensive process.
It's not like selling a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So you put stuff on your body or in your body.
Yeah.
It's a bit
We'd also
different.
like to get go through therapeutic goods and services eventually too. So that's where we can't make any claims and we never do. So we can't, it's important that you provide a product safe, especially for an industry that's, it's not been tested, it's not been
no animals were harmed.
No animals were harmed. But it hasn't been certified. So in Australia, there's huge barriers. We can't actually say anything about the product regarding about what they can do, except for the beauty side of things and skin health. So hygiene.
So is there something that defines soap? Like there is that definition of what a pie is, a meat pie.
Yeah.
There's got to have X amount of meat.
Well, I see where you're coming from. I get that. It has to be
They're very
meat in a
similar.
pie, but then you can get chicken pies
it
and curry.
needs to be, so it'll be like...
Type of meat will
Yeah.
define any parts of the animal.
Did you wash yourself with a pie?
So it has to obviously.
I did.
Yeah,
I was looking for
wow.
the pie flavour.
Oh.
So
I wish it's Australian meat
It might
pie.
smell a bit.
We have the Aussie grappler, so why not the Aussie meat pie?
There you go. The pie floater.
It could be the Aussie
You can't
meat
go
pie.
past the
This is one for the Aussie arm wrestling.
lemon twist. I think the lemon twist.
Yeah,
is
lemon
my
twist is
favourite.
good.
Is there a chocolate one there?
There is chocolate bars
Yeah.
in there.
That's the king. Oh, there we go. Chocolate one.
Yeah, so it's very subtle. So there's no
Very nice.
fragrances. So the chocolate bar and the acai Brazilian bar are both like non-scented. So we had to provide some because essential oils don't suit everybody. So we've produced them. So that's if kids need to. Obviously, we've got a lot of kid fans actually. So we've got Jerry's one of our first. He's got a subscription. He gets a surprise box.
Shout out Jerry.
Shout out to Jerry.
Been
Love
around
Jerry.
for days.
So he's
Love his
supported
work.
us from day dot with a subscription, and his kids love us. So so Jerry and the family are pretty cool. But so the chocolate bar, for kids is great. The acai Brazilian bar as well is high in vitamin C, which is really good for the skin and cell reproduction too.
So almost every one of these items, every and how many are there in the range?
We've got 12. at the
So
moment.
12 in the range currently,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and plans to expand
Yeah.
that in the fullness of time.
We've already
Well,
got lemon myrtle that's coming, and then blueberries soap will be the next one. And also we've got a ghee cleaner. So we've realised that a lot of people get rid of their gear, so like rashies and like training pants and stuff.
Are we dropping it? Are we dropping the name?
Is this
Dropping
an
it?
is this a
Is
Daily
it a new
Combat
product?
exclusive?
Is it
It's a
exclusive?
Daily
I live for a Daily
Combat
Combat
exclusive.
exclusive.
No one, we haven't even released the name
Wow.
yet.
Cool.
No,
Is there a name?
No. Yeah, let's
does.
just give you guys can have a guess each.
I'd
Try and
like-
pick a
What is it
name.
called?
For,
Like a
It's a
laundry-
ghee
Well, we've sort of
cleaning
come up.
Yeah, like any training.
So we put a bit of a
gear,
Kat put a post up saying,
Yeah.
give
Give
us
us
a bit
some
of a,
give us some ideas, guys,
Yeah.
because we were stuck. My naming ideas sometimes are very like
Ghee clean.
lateral.
Ghee clean.
Yeah, we
That's
did
pretty
that.
close.
That's not that.
Somebody got that?
Yeah,
Giggity,
they did say
giggity.
that, but we didn't. Oh, that's
did you
cool.
say?
I like that.
Giggity, giggity.
So
That's
think-
less
so think-
NASCAR. Let's go racing.
Oh, there you go.
Giggity, giggity, let's go racing.
We'll just keep saying it, and then they'll go, "That's the one. That's what it is." What
so
did he
think,
say?
So think like our attacks. Like, what do we do? Like when we get like an attack.
Yeah,
and
we're thinking
what
the
do we
armbusts
do?
that we come down
Like,
this.
what are we doing? So we went along that line, and we thought along the ideas of like fab.
Fab.
And that, like Fab
Sud.
Laundry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we went with Suds.
Sub.
Sud.
Suds
Is it sub B?
Laundry.
Is it
Oh,
sub
hang on,
B?
I
Sub
feel
B?
like we needed
Subs.
like a
Like
bit
subs
of
with a
Like
B.
a sub.
Wow.
Yeah, sub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sub.
So
It is-
it is
Sub. I
sub
love it.
laundry powder. So
Sub laundry
Yeah.
powder.
Like
Sub
a
laundry
submission.
powder at your local shops.
At all your
At
good
your local-
retailers.
Yeah.
Subs.
Yeah.
I love it. I can imagine the
We'll
whole
sub you
layout.
out. Yeah, like subbing someone out type
Yeah.
deal.
Like subs.
So we're
Yeah.
subbing.
Sub.
We're,
Get it?
Yeah.
we're
Sub.
sub,
Sub.
like a
I
submission.
do get
You want to do it?
Yeah. Sorry for that.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
love it.
But yeah, so we went with something. So we've
Oh, I
had.
feel like we need a box in the
It's, I
background
know.
now.
So it's like
We
we're
didn't
waiting for
bring
the packaging to
the-
come.
yeah.
So again,
Oh.
packaging is always the pain in the ass and the bane of my life.
Oh, we've got
but
plenty
it's
of room
coming.
in our
We've had a
set,
trial
so-
run.
I'll bring some in.
Someone trial run it.
We have.
To
We've had
test
quite
run.
a few testers.
Awesome.
It's been,
Shout out to the people at Zenith, Scotty and the team.
Oh yeah,
for-
my crew.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Here, try this. Tell us how it is. They come back.
Yeah,
So-
and
so-
Matt Lab. I've got.
And
Yeah.
no one died.
No
No
one
one's
died.
No athletes were harmed.
So they're stinky.
geese were
they're
harmed.
Stinky.
No
No
geese.
geese were harmed. The rashies actually came up cleaner than what they've ever come up clean.
And
So
does-
they
did-
smell like new. So it's
Ah.
like this is to revive your old gear. So don't throw it out because we were about sustainable stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's about like keeping your training gear as long
You're
as
about
possible.
choking people out, but you want that
But
to be
you want-
sustainable.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Everyday
Well, you
clothes
know,
too, not
so
even
you
just skis,
sub
like
being a
everyday
bit-
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
All sorts.
So it's
The footy
it's
socks.
a laundry booster basically to take the stink out of stuff.
So this is the whole new product. This
Yep.
is
Not even out yet.
not even out.
World
and
first.
and
Watch this
you'll get it in a
space.
box, and you'll be able to
Yes.
get that online.
Yes, yep, and potentially in the stockist as well. We'll see. But you basically just add it. You can add it to your existing laundry powder as like a booster, or
Right.
you can just use it by itself, which is actually preferable.
I mean, that would be great for any sporting
Yeah,
application,
exactly.
would it not?
Football, yeah, any sort of basketball. You know
Ooh.
those synthetic sort of like.
I like the how the subs thing then works
Yeah,
on
it will
a
be like
lot of
stink-
different levels.
Yes, yes. See.
Vice President of Marketing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done.
My brain's. I'm already off somewhere else.
He's off.
He's on the next idea.
He's got the dollar symbols floating out.
He's gone.
What can we target? Oh no, they don't use cloth nappies for babies anymore. That would be good for that.
Yeah. You could do it for all sorts.
You could target.
There's been
Take
trend
the
towards that
stink
stuff.
out of
Yeah.
stuff.
Take the stink out of stuff.
Get that stink off me.
Subs,
Yeah.
take the stink out of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just,
Oh.
Well, we're coming up with
So-
all the
I'll tell you
ideas
what,
here.
this
And
is-
we will only take 20% of the revenue.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Yeah, well, it can't be a good
I want my body weight
catchphrase
in
or a
edible
jingle.
soap.
You
I
just
want my
can't.
body weight in edible
Flavour.
soap.
Yeah.
Don't eat that laundry powder though, David.
You can't have that.
No,
You
you
can't.
can't
Can't
eat that.
stop him. He'll do
Don't,
it.
I know.
We'd have to do the old, what is the old 60s adverts on radio? Da, 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 da. Suds.
Oh my god. Get that stink out
Suds,
of
stay
your
clean and stay mean. That's what we say.
Wow.
And you have like a woman like putting out the laundry and stuff, but she's in a gi.
Oh, that would
True.
be cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, but in a 1950s
That could be-
style, but
yes.
she's in a gi.
Or a
Yeah.
guy in 1950s style dress. That would be funny.
Put the
You
guy in
could
the
do it like a
1950s.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's like trans.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you probably
That'd
get
be
government
good.
grants.
He can
Yeah.
literally be doing a triangle on the clothesline, lean back, and then hoik back up again and hang it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. That'd be good.
Work.
So yeah, but it's good stuff. So Jim works well.
Chucks him out.
Yeah.
Stop being a wuss. Get out of the way. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong anyway. I'll do it myself.
Shut the washing machine with attitude.
I love it. So that's obviously one of the big
Yeah,
things in the
Yeah.
5-year pipeline, and
Yep.
that's like the next big product
So we
rolling
come
out.
out with
So
jelly.
are you making that out the back or,
Yeah. So
as
that's
well?
pretty much the same.
We've got a
thing.
meeting coming up, haven't we, hon?
Yeah. I
We
think
need to write some. We
another
need to next stage. Let's
Just
Yeah.
a very
go.
good stage. Need to get it back.
2023. Let's get some goals down and get. In
Yeah, yeah. It would be nice to have our own like total space. But my like soap room is probably no bigger than this studio.
Yeah.
So
not bigger than this.
no, it's not smaller. It's smaller, isn't it? But it's
Smaller.
floor to ceiling, full of all my ingredients and soap.
Smell nice.
Curing. It does
Oh.
smell nice.
Very
it's like
aromatic.
heaven.
Hits you in the
Yeah.
face when you walk in there.
It's insulated very well. He did a really good job building it and insulating it.
Thank
So
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So that,
So
I
if
know
you
that-
want a soap factory made at your house,
Yes.
Cool, give us a call.
Cool.
I know the price of materials. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now that's gone up by about.
I can mow the
20%.
lawn and it smells like peppermint.
Yes.
The window's
yeah,
open. She's
yeah.
going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how do you go about creating a certain scent or fragrance?
Scent?
Or
So the first basis was all about like choosing the like essential oils that are based on like we're looking for bacterial, antifungal, cell reproduction, assisting with like disinfecting. Like we were looking for all those sorts of things. So I looked like across the board.
Tea tree peppermint.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, eucalyptus. There's certain ones though that you can only use in small areas. Otherwise, they're disruptors to certain things like hormones and stuff like that.
are there any ingredients that lead to larger biceps
Hey.
diameter,
Well, the
overall
chance-
shape?
Just do some chip rocking, buddy.
Look out.
Hey, he's not up to doing any actual real work.
I'll just leave now.
But yeah, but you could try.
Sorry.
It depends. I think the charcoal is like the charcoal and the original, like they're the two big boys. So
For
they've
bicep.
sold. Yeah, I'd go with them.
So
They're good.
you're saying,
So
so
they-
you were choosing, you got
Yeah.
eucalyptus, your tea tree oils.
Yeah, the peppermint, peppermint's actually a really cool one. So, not a lot of people like the peppermint smell, but it's got huge properties. Like, it actually helps the pores to reopen.
Right.
So, it's one of those ones, like, if you don't get a chance to shower straight away after training, you can go and have a shower after an hour's time. It'll reopen the pores, get the crap out of your skin, and then let it. So, yeah, it's a really good
I didn't even
oil.
know that one.
There you
That's
go.
pretty cool.
Even the tea tree. So it's a good after training if you can't get straight away to a shower. So
Very
there's
good.
there's
Very
certain-
good when I do insulation.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That. Oh yeah, it's nasty.
that gets
stuff.
in your
To put
pores.
it in
That gets in your
the-
pores.
Yeah,
the fibres,
it's
you mean?
nasty stuff.
So this is even good
Glass
just from a
fibres.
health
Like
and
it's-
safety.
Yeah, it doesn't
We
have to be
also
just training.
No,
it could be any, yeah.
also we've got Tamara's another one of our long-term
Yeah.
customers. She works up in the mines in WA, and she gets that the red dust from the mines, clogs up the pores like crazy, and she couldn't get them off. And so she's been buying our soap for a long time, and I've got some really cool before and after shots
Yeah,
on
she
our
did a really
Instagram.
good job.
But you can actually see the difference of it. actually cleansing the skin properly and opening up the pores versus just a normal bar of soap or whatever else. So same with like mechanics, stuff like that too. So heavy grease, like
the battle's getting it into people's hands to use it to believe you that you're not just blowing wind up there.
Teenagers,
try it. Okay, wow, that actually.
And so we've got the soaps. We've soon to have subs.
Subs.
The Boost Balm.
Yeah,
the Boost Balm.
So what's the Boost Balm do?
So the Boost Balm is a magnesium balm. So
just
crack that one open.
Crack it open.
Crack it open.
Crack it open.
We got the
Pressure. Pressure's on.
There you go. It's not that hard.
Should have tightened it
What
really.
if I wasn't strong enough? If I wasn't strong enough.
You've got Matt to help you.
I would have just clipped that bit.
Yeah.
cracked it.
Come on.
Has anyone got a tea towel?
Yeah.
It cleans out your sinuses.
It does clean out your sinuses. No, so magnesium is a really good muscle relaxant, is what it's known for. So people have magnesium bars, Epsom salt bars, and stuff like that. Yeah. And then there's magnesium oil, which is like a portable type thing you can squirt on yourself. So anytime you get muscle strains or you're a bit fatigued from training,
put some on. Try.
Yeah, chuck it on.
So would you put it on like a if you
so
like a sore spot?
Sore
like maybe if you dank a rub instead, you might use this as an alternative.
Yeah, but it won't give you.
So this is
great for arm wrestling.
This is fantastic for arm wrestling.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to put that on.
You'll be the tester.
Here we go, arm wrestlers.
I had some at work and my neck.
Rub it up. Rub it up.
Actually, that'd be good for tennis elbow. Your tennis elbow beforehand.
Yeah, tennis elbow.
Yeah.
Wow. I've obviously I've got a bit of a knee injury at the moment too. So and muscles tend to cramp up and stuff. So, but it's really good. It also actually stops mozzie bites when they itch.
Oh yeah, we worked that out.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you just looking for something?
It was accidental. That was funny. Yeah.
It's like how Viagra got discovered.
Oh goodness.
I was setting up.
That's another story.
I was setting up something in the shed for a party, and I got bit like 5 or 6 times on my back. I'm like, okay, put some of this on.
It's the Greek in me.
Literally.
Pull out the Windex.
Not Windex, but it's that. And it stopped itching in like 10 minutes. I'm like, wow, it worked.
Yeah.
It actually worked.
But it's basically there. So with magnesium oil, it's really itchy. Like, I don't know if you've ever used it.
No,
I haven't. No.
I love it. So nearly everybody's deficient in magnesium. It's crazy.
Yeah, I take it each day.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's in this as well.
everybody except for Matt.
Yeah. So if you
deficient.
I heard that, and that's why I started taking it.
So if you're like, obviously that's ingesting. Like you can ingest it. So you can take capsules, you can take magnesium powders and stuff like that. But transdermally is actually, which is when you're absorbing it through the skin, it's actually more efficient.
Wow.
It's crazy, especially your feet. So your feet are like crazy receptors for magnesium and uptake.
Wow.
Yeah. So you chuck it on your feet. At night time, you're trying to go to sleep. Like we're trying to find in jiu-jitsu, we actually struggle. Well, in the early days I did, but as you go on, it's a bit better. But you train late at night, your adrenaline's pumping, everything's quite like heightened. Using magnesium, and I actually am a big fan of having a magnesium bath after training. Some people like, the cooler showers or whatever. I like a hot bath and with magnesium. And I was like, well, how else can I get that into me? Because it's not enough. Like having a bath every now and then isn't going to do it. Same with a foot bath is really good too. If you can't have a whole bath, submerging your feet in, we've got Epsom salts as well we sell. But the magnesium balm is portable. You can chuck it on, you get an injury or, whatever else. It's a quick fix. It doesn't...
It is a quick fix for sure. It works. I've got one self-proof at work. So
yeah.
Again, get home and next bit sort of from work, looking up at the ceiling all day, and I just go, I just rub a bit on, and it just gives you that relief.
So it's
not.
It's a balm, but it's like based on like a
I'm
very
taking
thick.
that, Dave, by the way.
Yeah, go for it. A very thick cream.
Just
quick! I should have brought 2. So you,
With the arm
don't
wrestle
Hey,
for
no
the-
Don't eat it,
no
Dave.
double dipping. No
Don't eat it.
Yeah, you put your finger in it twice.
Yeah, but it's really cool. So we've had some really good feedback with it as well. It's sort of fresh, like it's not heavily promoted yet. I think I spend too much time probably promoting the soaps, but we've got some really good after training care. So
I think this is also really nice because dank rub and those types of they just stink. They're offensive. And
so you can use this while you're training, like before you're going to train, or because dank rub and that's quite dangerous for people when they're training,
especially they get it in.
You've got it on your arm and rub on someone's face.
make tiger balm in your
Rub it into your
eyes.
opponent's eyes.
Yeah.
MMA tactic. That's why they check the gloves.
It sounds like a Master Ken tactic.
That's
right. That one.
But yeah, so that's a fairly new one as well. But word's spreading slowly. We probably need to do a bit more marketing on it. But it's a fantastic product, and
the price is
thank
right.
you. That's great. So yeah,
But the best thing we is people's reviews. Like we've had some really good feedback.
Yeah.
Even speaking of feedback, George, olive oil man, a legend. Shout out George. He brought up. I went to do some work in his house, and he brought up. He goes, cuts on my hands are healing quicker.
Wow.
Not that we say that anything cures it.
It's his review,
But
his
that's his
words,
review.
not my words. It's his words,
Yeah.
exact
Georgie
words.
olive oil guy.
Yeah.
Georgie olive oil.
Yeah.
That was his exact
it's the
words he
fountain
said
of
to
youth.
me in his kitchen. He goes,
Probably his olive oil, actually.
I don't know what's... It
It
just-
will make you immortal.
That's
Isn't
what
it?
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his olive oil.
That's
It's him saying,
you heard
That's
it
his way
here
of saying it.
first. This will make you immortal.
This is what Captain America uses.
Right.
You use this long enough, you'll turn
Not saying
into
that,
a
but
Greek
we are
god.
saying
Yeah.
that. But it will.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, no.
Everyone be calling you Zeus
That's right.
So-
or Hercules
I'm
or something.
800 years old.
Hercules, yeah. Yeah.
So we got the bombs as
Yeah,
well. So the
so-
muscle
Bath bombs.
bombs. So
Yeah.
this is what you're saying. You might chuck that in
Yeah,
as
so
a bit
that's
of a
magnesium loaded as well. So and
loaded. I like that.
Low.
But we
It's
get
ready to attack.
So those salts actually come from a salt supplier in New South Wales, but they're actually German bath salts. So they're actually
Oops, hello.
hello.
Oops.
They're lead free. So a lot of things that you don't know about bath salts, because I'm gonna be a bit of like a Karen with some things too. But the bath salts actually carry a lot of heavy metals.
Oh, really?
Rock
Yeah.
on.
So you got to be
Heavy
careful
metal.
which ones
Yeah.
heavy metals. You have to choose which ones you're using as well. So
Right.
these are like lead free. They're like 99.4%.
I can just imagine you in the supermarket at like
It's so bad. I can't go anymore. I can't do it.
in the
I
in the
can't.
beauty aisle going,
Yeah.
What's
look
in
at
that?
this.
I
Yeah.
can't.
This is an
seriously.
outrage.
Don't even get me started. I can't even walking down that aisle anymore. So
Right.
yeah, no.
And do you think you move into like more beauty products, or do you think it's more centered around that utility around the martial arts
So
scene?
that's
or
a Q sister brand drop
yeah,
there.
So we have Banksia
That's-
Bliss as well. So
Banksia Bliss.
yeah. So Banksia Bliss, I love. So this is my heart and my passion and my soul. So everything goes into this, but we did have requests for certain things. Like I do a really nice facial oil and a hemp seed cleansing oil for women. So we get. So acne is a problem too with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So we get back acne and we'll get face acne and whatever else too, just from training and having pores clogged up.
Yeah.
So there was a need for like female and even guys too. So Damo had our hemp seed oil as well, which is really good. So, but that also comes from like Mildura. So our hemp seed oil. Good hemp they're called. So we basically
Shout out Good Hemp.
yeah, they're good too. But basically, we created that too, but we actually found that they don't sell as well because it's not a place that someone's going to go for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I've spent some time on it, but probably it's sat on the back burner a little bit. It's sitting there, so we do have like a really good facial oil, which is good for moisturising and stuff like that. We really want to do a barrier balm. I've got so many ideas, so there'll be certain things that come out, but the barrier balm would be so that if you need to have a shower quick smart before, because we get tradies as well that go to train, you know, sometimes don't want to rock up to the gym smelly, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but they're not really meant to shower before you come to training because you take that barrier off. So we're like, oh, that could help too. So there'll be things coming out over time.
Yeah.
Sounds like
There's so many avenues you can go.
yeah,
It's
like you guys
crazy.
have got everything there,
Yeah.
and then it's like
It's just
all this needs
transferring
is
it.
it's going to explode into something massive. You know, you can sort
Yeah.
of feel that this
The
is
after
this
training
is the
wipes if you
beforehand.
can't get to the shower.
Yeah, we're babies.
Stuff like that.
We're babies. Like we're only like what 2.5 years in.
This is
So-
like
Yeah.
you watch the Shark Tank show or something, and then it's
Yeah.
like it feels
Yeah.
like that.
Just
you
let me
guys are
build
at
the bigger room first. Because there's no way we're pumping out
Okay,
1,000
okay.
bars a week in that little. We could.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we could do it.
Yeah,
We can make it
If
work.
anyone is listening that has
Yeah.
the ability to help with
Yeah,
distribution or
yeah,
anything like that,
anything like that.
if you haven't been convinced at this point, I mean, my God,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just try
yeah.
it. Just
We've
try
got-
it and give
we've
us a
literally
review,
got the good-
feedback. anything.
Yeah, small things
Great.
help. So, you know, support obviously from the community. Like, we've been really lucky that people have embraced it.
So where can people get the products at the moment if they're listening to this podcast?
Oh, they're not for sale, though.
These are just for us.
Just for you.
This is limited edition.
I won't take these for yours.
Holy, geez, you boys did all right.
Yeah, you did.
I don't shower that much.
You will now, mate. You'll love it. You'll be like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, these will probably be a talking point for the future guests. So, yeah, absolutely.
But, so we have online sales, obviously. So we try to keep things in-house to a certain extent. So, www.rollclean.com.au.
Rollclean.com.au.
.com are you on the flyer there?
So,
Wonderful.
And we have our full range on there. Some stuff tends to circulate, just depends on what's selling at the time, but generally everything's always in stock.
And what's the biggest seller?
Biggest seller would have to be the original bar.
The
and
original
the fruit,
bar.
actually, the toss-up is actually probably the original and the fruit punch.
Ooh, where's
Did
the
you smell the
fruit
fruit punch?
punches?
Fruit punch. The original was that's the
Okay.
It's like summer in a soap bar.
original's good. I
I
like
love
the
it.
original.
I like fruit punch.
Taste fruity.
Yeah, taste
Does it
fruity.
say that on there? Summer in a fruit bar?
Somewhere in the
I
Oh,
like-
I need to do that. Now, that's one of my other
I like the look of the
advertisements.
Aussie grappler more.
Yeah, the Aussie grappler.
Is there an Aussie
That's
grappler
That's a
in
new
there?
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
So-
not nice.
Where's it?
on the left, green.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I think
That's a cool look.
yeah, and then the Max,
That is
the
very
Max
cool.
pack, like
Aussie
yeah, we do Aussie colours.
colours.
It's got green Australian clay in it as well, so and yellow Australian
See,
clay. So we
Stuffed up the label straight away. Look, see. You have to use that one
Oh,
first.
that's okay.
No,
So, but yeah, so yeah, and also like we do the Max pack as well. So we have like packs that you can buy. So
So you can kind of just
Yeah.
get on there. You don't have
Yeah.
to buy one bar at a time
No,
and wait for it in
nah.
the post.
We got the
you get a big
awesome
pack.
foursome.
yeah, packs. The Awesome Foursome's pretty cool.
Shout out, came up with that name.
Yeah,
Nice.
fantastic.
That was a
drive.
brainstorm for about
Can't-
5 minutes on the couch.
Yeah.
The gruesome twosome.
Double trouble, mate. Come on,
Double trouble.
come on. You can't.
Double.
Ideas man over here, mate.
What's the other?
Double banger.
Double.
The double banger. Get it.
That's actually pretty good.
Double banger.
And yeah, and then
20% of
Oh,
total
back.
sales.
Yeah, I know. It's coming right back. And then the gyms, like, you know, our gyms stock our soap too. So, you know, we
Gyms.
want any students of those gyms that are like our stockists. And we've like pretty much got, I think, about 12 in Adelaide. It's crazy.
12 stockists here in
In
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
So across
Yeah.
these gyms.
Yeah,
So
and then we've also got a couple of other ones that are like online. So we've got Humble Fightwear as well. And we've also got Just Jits as well. They stock our stuff.
Shout out to those
Shout out to
guys.
those guys.
Just Jits.
But yeah, so your gym first and foremost, like they should go to their gym because
go to the gym.
yeah,
That
support your
supports
gym.
your
It does.
Instagram.
So it supports the gym,
Instagram's a big
supports
one
us. Like
on
you're
there.
doing the whole roundabout, and we want everyone to be able to benefit from our product as well, not just us.
Yeah.
Which, as I said, most of it goes to everyone else. But anyway,
There it is, all on the back there too.
yeah,
So
we're
there you
trying
go.
to keep our prices down. So you know, I try to do things as you know, the integrity's there. Try to keep things as good as we can. We've just upscaled.
Yeah.
Like, with a lot of our production, so that way we can keep the cost down, which means we need the support to keep going.
Absolutely.
100%.
What's the-
www.rollclean.com.au. Sales@rollclean.com.au.
Yeah, back and we
Just
encourage.
email you through.
Insta Roll Clean Soap, and
got an
Facebook
online
at Roll
shop.
Clean Soap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Or
anyone
put
can
in the
contact
code word
us. Yeah.
VOLA,
Yeah.
Pooh
Vola.
Bear,
Yeah,
Pooh
yeah,
Bear.
which is
and
great. Yeah, Vola, yeah.
and
Demo
you will
gets
get something
15%.
You know what?
15%.
Off.
I was just making that shit up.
First
So
off,
true.
15% off.
Yeah.
So if you put in,
Yeah, it's
wha-
Damien.
it's whatever you
yeah,
say,
code
though.
Damien. You get
it is
15%
it's our
off.
exclusive offer here on the Daily Combat Podcast. Put in the code word
First
Matt
purchase
Connolly
is
Classic, and you'll win.
Double banger.
You'll
Double
get
banger.
the
Double
code word
banger.
double banger for your
actually
chance
that's
to win.
gonna
a-
stick.
I reckon it's
Double
gonna
banger's
stick.
gonna
There you
stick.
go.
Everyone could be, it could
Yeah.
be pretty much any fragrance. But yeah, we also want to do like a surprise stock it. So the next one will be like also a subscription box that's just like a surprise. Because
cool.
we actually find a lot of the time like our subscriptions don't do as well because they're like a set thing.
Yeah.
But you know, like Jerry, he's like, just put in whatever you
Whatever.
whatever you think you and surprise me. So that way they get a bit of variety
So
too.
there's some novelties there.
And during COVID, when things were like a bit dull, you couldn't leave home. There's not a lot of excitement going on. he would message me like, "Thank you so much." Like, it just gives us a bit of excitement, you know, for the week opening a parcel. And I always put like samples, so every one box comes with a sample.
Got a Christmas cookie?
Yeah, they got a Christmas cookie this year. So we got that from
edible or soap?
No, it's actually edible.
Nice.
Edible.
Or
I
both.
should have brought, but I ran out. I ran out. We got hammered in December. But, and then
And any other products that you think you might diverge into or that you've got ideas for?
Oh God, what are you going to say now?
Like, would you go into merchant like geese?
Dead set. She brings all these.
Geese
It's all these essential oils, and you open them up, and you're like, "Oh my God, what is that?
Yeah,
It smells amazing." Then you got that one, and you go, "Oh, what is that? It sounds like you're in a forest. Smells like you're in a forest somewhere. It's that good." So I'm gonna make up like a aftershave or some kind of ointment or
some kind
something,
of fragrance.
or a spray,
A vape.
like an after training, a vape. That could work. While off steam after training with a big blow some clouds.
Oh, God.
No, like just a spray for yourself.
Right, yeah.
God.
I can't have a serious conversation.
It's brand damaging. That was brand damaging.
We have to leave the glycerin and vegetable gum in the soap.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
vegetable gum in the soap.
Yeah,
Glycerin, Different.
Put it in your
No vape. Vapes in the car.
Put that in vape.
Don't
Like
vape your soap,
Don't
ladies
vape
and
your
gentlemen.
soap.
I think if you take away anything from
No.
today's podcast, that's don't vape your soap
But
products.
yeah, we had rash guards. We've got rash guards that came out. The rashies looked really
can
cool.
bring up
So
the
we
website.
haven't done a lot since.
Oh, yeah, bring it up.
Which one? Sure.
The RollClean.
No one can see it at home.
That's okay, but we will enjoy it.
Yeah.
They can get they can hear the pleasure in our voice.
So
Except
basically,
for my chipmunk voice.
people can go to their gyms. They can jump onto Instagram. If all they remember out of this podcast
RollClean.
is RollClean,
Just RollClean.
That's
they
it.
can just RollClean
you'll
it
find
into
us.
Instagram. Bang, it's going to come up the top there. And of course, there's a few ways.
Boom, there it is.
And it's a very cool website, by the way.
Oh, it needs work.
And
man.
We
I
just,
look
Kat was
at it
just
all the
discussing about the
time.
photos.
It's another bane of my life. Is my website.
Oh, yeah.
So photographs need to be updated. Like they're our old labels. Like,
Fantastic
they look
5-pack.
Hideous. But anyway,
That's
it's
the
the
fun.
products
They are
still
the old
same.
labels, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I've all the way through. I've created that. So
It's
you
just
get
the little things,
your
the
first sign
changes
up.
in the
So if
labels.
someone first signs up, they get $10 off their first order.
Nice.
That's how much we believe in our product.
Wow.
So you give us a go, and you'll like the proofs.
Good
in the pudding.
line, baby. That was a good line.
Yeah, proofs in the pudding.
Definitely.
But you've got our t-shirts.
Who's that
our
fit guy on the
t-shirts.
right? He's not like that now at Christmas time.
That's about Christmas turkey. That's Athena, one of our other ambassadors.
Fantastic.
Sydney.
Is this the apparel? Oh, yep, great.
Apparel. T-shirts are
So-
going well. We had good
Yeah,
feedback
we
from the
had a good.
T-shirts.
Yeah, we're running out of sizes, but
Just development on new Rashi at the minute.
yeah. So we're working. That's Izzy's helping us with that at the moment.
Rashi's just so busy.
Yeah,
Nice,
so
clean looking.
everything comes from overseas. I don't know if you know much about like merch and stuff.
Yeah.
Matt does.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's hard. It's hard to get anything
If
here
you've got
local.
any
Yeah.
tips, let me know because I need some connections. We do. So Element's gonna he's got a good connection too. But yeah, getting anything that is like made here. So our t-shirts are actually printed from Fluoro Print. So from the Fluoro Peninsula.
He's been
They're coming
really
in,
helpful.
Yeah, so that's in
They
McLaren
made
Vale.
of bamboo,
they are
I
now.
hear.
Out of bamboo, but don't get pandas.
And peppermint juice.
Ooh.
Show some colours.
Imagine if you had peppermint scented t-shirt.
Maybe that's the
Ooh.
thing.
It's another idea.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I can't
So many
believe it.
ideas.
We should bring back hypercolor
Oh my
T-shirts.
God.
Hypercolor.
20%.
Hyper
smell.
t-shirts.
Hypercolor T-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Hyper
morph in smell.
We're depending on
Actually,
where
when you start
Morph.
sweating, it smells. It brings
cleans
out the
you.
scent.
It
Yeah.
cleans
Nice
you as you
scent.
wear it.
Yeah.
It's got soap built in.
Instant clean.
That's right.
Yeah.
After training, you don't have time for a shower. Just put your shirt on and it'll
Yeah.
clean you on the way
You're
home.
done.
Just move
Yeah.
around really fast.
That's right.
Yeah.
So good. These look. I like these photos. Like I was showing somebody these this morning.
I know.
I know you don't like it. I do like that.
Yeah.
That does. Yeah, that looks fantastic.
I
very
think
cool.
it's
I suppose
very
if
old.
Kat looks at it every day of the week,
I
it's,
open it up
you
and
know.
everything I know in my head, like it's like you have, it's like anything. You have a vision and you know what you want it to be, but it's like it's the steps through the process. So that's why we always also feedback. Like I always offer negative or positive feedback, always, because we need to improve the product always. And I don't care how perfect the product is, like you can always get better. So, that's what we're aiming towards. We want to be the best, which we already are in Australia. There's no one else that, makes it. But, we just want to make sure that it's the best product that we can possibly supply. So, even our liquid soap, we do the liquid pumps, which are a foam pump. So we supply those, again, for purchase, but also for, like, the gyms. So that's it. And you can also, so the gyms, obviously, they have the option of buying a big gym refill because they use it. It can be used as a bath and a body product as well as a hand product. So you can use it in the shower and you can use it on your hands.
Yeah, people use it in the shower as well.
Yeah, so it's the same sort of, it's a liquid natural soap. So again, it's processed the same sort of way, but with a different type of like chemical as such. And then it's, it's still the same sort of traditional RollClean sort of smell, but it's...
it's like the original smell, isn't it?
It is. It smells like the original soap.
So if gyms want to engage with you guys and start carrying the product, how do they go about that?
Yeah, just hit us up. So just hit us up
RollClean,
on Instagram.
Send over a message. Got a gym.
Instagram's heaps popular, so people tend to do that. Even just ring me. Like, my phone number's on the thing, so I'm happy for anyone just to reach out. Just
get in contact
I'm old
with
school.
you.
Text messaging for me is like...
That'll work.
You're like, what is this? Stupid predictive text. So, so even phone calls, emails, but Instagram, Facebook.
They can reach out. And any athletes looking to work with you guys, how does that happen?
Yeah, we
you may have not discovered them yet, perhaps. But they might.
So we've got a few. So even I haven't even mentioned the main one, but we've got Aussie girl Anger Fist, who's a Bellator fighter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's a big, she's been in the industry for a long time. She's like a mum, in the older generation of, fighters. But she's a professional fighter that goes over to America and stays there for 6 months to fight on and off. And she's amazing. So Arlene...
So she gets Vegemite sent over and RollClean.
Yeah. So she's
RollClean soap, Vegemite.
I sent her, that was the last time. She's like, can you send me some Vegemite? I'm like, hell yeah, girl.
Yeah, so you get the Vegemite.
Send me the Vegemite. So,
it's the little things to bring the spirits up.
So we do what we can. Like, obviously we're tiny. If it's like, up and coming fighters want to reach out, that's fine too. We can't always take on everybody. Like, that's obviously we've been, and that's the one thing.
But the other thing is, I guess, if you're an athlete and you're trying to make your way and you're developing your brand in the sport and you love the product, just get behind the guys.
Just get
They'll notice you one day.
Just buy heaps of it.
And just buy heaps. They'll notice. And one day you might get some for free.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Only contenders over here.
Support us and we will support you. Like
absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely. What a wonderful local success story. And fantastic that you're sourcing local ingredients. You're really engaging deeply with your community and you're trying to work out how you can make a difference with your passions.
Yeah, whatever I can do.
with what you can do, which is the best we can ever ask of ourselves, I think, is what can I do? And if I did everything I could, would that actually make a difference? And the answer to that is almost always yes. And you guys are living proof of that.
Yeah, and
so
if you've got a passion, just go for it. Like, it's the worst is if you... I was reading some quote and it was like, if you don't even give it a go, like, how are you going to know? And you haven't put your best into it, well then, you're always going to be asking what if. So,
never know if you never go.
Hey, at least you can say, hey, you had a crack. Yeah. We had a go.
Yeah,
we're still having a go.
You still learn.
Kat's giving back to what Jiu-Jitsu gave her at the start.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, all the time.
And the community, the Facebook group she built up as well. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really...
It's not just about the mats and rolling and stuff.
No.
This is the
training
one that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, so this is so we've got...
No, it's a different
one.
Yeah, so I've got the actual Jiu-Jitsu of Girls of Adelaide group. Yeah. So when Adelaide I set that up, it's just more a connection group now. We don't hold as many open mats like we used to because I'm now quite time consumed and it's really hard to get the girls to actually like put their hands up to actually do stuff. Like we've had a couple of them that have, but it's like it's a team effort and all the gyms need to get behind it too, and that sometimes there's barriers.
It's a lot of coordination.
It is.
Yeah, it's one of those things that when they do it, they go, we should do it again. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and then like, attendances are hard too. But, and girls, we tend to like, all different stages of life. You'll have kids and whatever else, same with the guys. So, but we have that sort of support group running as well. But
We should do a Christmas show for everyone next year.
Yeah, we should do it.
Buy all our soap and we can throw a Christmas show for you.
Yeah.
We'll get together. RollClean Christmas show. There you go. Set
up.
What
are you going to serve for food? It can't be soap.
Whoa.
Okay. I'll get on that. You could make actual cake bars that.
Oh,
Real cake. And then go, and then fuzz on.
Yeah, Mars bar sliced that looks like soap.
That's right.
That's so good.
Yeah.
More and more ideas continue to come, and so it looks like there's going to be a big, bright future for RollClean. So congratulations on all your success so far.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely amazing products and an amazing mission attached to it. So well done to you both in doing so much in such a very short period of time. And it's wonderful that you're supporting the athletes that are out there as well, because we've discussed it on many occasions that the MMA and the combat sports world of perhaps are only just now developing in such a way that they're starting to become attractive to sponsors and other businesses that want to get behind them. And so
and
when
those
you
smaller athletes too. The bigger ones get,
Tiny
you have to
men.
get so far up, and it's such a long
tiny,
way in there.
tiny little strength athlete.
Tiny little strength.
Strongmen.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yes. So you have to be, you have to work so hard just to get recognised. So those guys need it, especially the small ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So and great for you to be able to do it all together and grow together.
He's lost it. He's gone.
I love that.
Are you thinking of that? Are you thinking of that guy when those guys are throwing javelins and then the toothpicks hit the t-shirt? Is that
I love that.
But you know what I don't get?
I got messages from a mate, and that's all it is.
Toothpick one.
Bruce Lehman, you know
that
who you are.
discriminated. They used to
Is
throw
that-
them back in the day. That was just wrong.
Yeah,
Seriously, that handles on the back and everything. And struck up. I'm serious. That's how bad it was back in the day.
Is there going to be strong men? Is that a part of APEX this year?
Yeah.
So why, I need to ask the question. So I'm going to go, because I'm going to be there. Obviously, I always come to support those.
I'll be
events
coming to
anyway.
this one.
But like the bar, like they don't. If you're smaller, the bar is the same height
Oh,
as like
lifting up
Jordy.
the-
So Jordy
lifting up the
Gibbs, who's
Atlas.
like
Yeah.
freaking huge.
Yeah.
So it's the same height bar. You know, the
They have to
weight
work
of the
harder.
boulder, like, is
You have to work
crazy.
harder to get it up higher.
That's true. Yeah.
To put it.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
let's
Or
be
they,
great. I'm looking
or they
forward to
could
Apex.
just, stand on a whole bunch of these soap bricks.
Yeah.
And,
Shout out to all the short people out there. We love you.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
They might have an advantage in other areas.
So, yeah.
There's a
Let's do
dead
it.
set benefit to being with a short person, I'll tell you that. But for me, everything's in the bottom cupboard. It's like, oh my God.
Oh
it's
yeah,
so
that's
Oh,
true.
yeah. That's right.
Same with jiu-jitsu too. We find more holes
Yeah.
than like other people do, so we can
Yeah.
spin around.
And they're quick.
and they're quick.
Yeah.
And we could just sit on the couch and suddenly, I forgot. Boom, she's gone. Yeah, she's already gone. Where'd she go?
Done. Done.
She's back again. Where'd she go?
I just put out eight
Zip, zip,
loads
zip,
of
zip
washing.
around the
It's
house.
done.
Eight loads of washing make
Yeah,
14,000 soaps.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Takes me 10 minutes to get to the bathroom sometimes.
Fantastic.
Anyway,
Well, thank you very much for joining
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Matt
Thank you,
and
guys.
Kat and Matt from RollClean here for all of your soapy needs and, of course, subs and a whole lot of other cool products that you'll find on shelves, in stores and on the internet right now. So head over to rollclean.com.au.
Thanks,
.com.
Dave. Yeah, so we're
Just
.com.au.
.com.au.
We're Aussie through and through.
Rollclean.com.au. So head on over there right
yeah.
now and stay tuned because there's a whole lot more products coming your way. So subscribe, do whatever you got to keep in touch with all the new products that are getting launched in 2023 and a whole lot more.
Yeah.
And guys, wishing you every success with 2023.
Thanks so
It sounds
Thank
like
you
the
very
future
much.
is very, very bright and
Thank you.
clean
Yep.
at RollClean. So thank you very much again, and
Thanks
we'll look
a
forward to
lot.
seeing you again next time.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.